What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stirfry. It's your boy, Chef T.
I'm with a Spacekid.
And our special guest today is P the Nerd.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, man?
Glad to be here. What's up, world?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man?
P the Nerd, Perry, aka Immortal Nerd.
Perry?
Website.
Man? I thought we was cool, man. It's for the record.
Paris.
It's Paris, everyone. Okay.
I said Paris.
But it's cool though because I've got.
I'm sorry. I knew it was
Perry
Paris.
plenty of times.
I corrected myself though without you
in
even
my
saying
life, so I'm not offended
Paris.
by it.
Yeah.
I've got
Perris, right?
Perris. That is
See?
correct.
Boom. I knew how to spell it though. I remember it.
I'll give you a point for that.
Damn, I can't believe I said that.
He gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to make up for
roll
that
this
now.
back, but it's cool. I'm not offended.
No, I'm gonna keep it in there for authenticity purposes. All right. So yeah, you're. What would you even define yourself as? Like, you're a paper mache artist, or just
I don't know, man.
Is it really paper mache?
So I was in this chat room on Clubhouse, and I guess an interdisciplinary artist is an artist that sticks to one medium. I just found out recently.
Oh wow.
So I guess don't hold me to that either. Like
You're just
so I primarily use comic books and magazines, so, paper as my medium, but I have been known to work with other mediums.
right. So yeah, your main thing is the paper. Which use comic books and stuff and make a collage out of it. Interesting stuff.
Okay.
So different than what. Yeah. That's the goal, right? Yeah. So interesting stuff. How'd you kind of get into doing art? Like, is this something that you did all the time, or is you just kind of jumped into it at some point?
I don't know, man. I took one art class in high school. I feel like I've always been attached to the arts. I was in choir and band and drama club in elementary school and high school. But I think I guess trying to project or express myself in the art world didn't come till almost 9 years ago. I got my first iPhone, started playing around with some digital apps on that. Then I started making digital collages for people, and I did it for a long time for free just because I thought it was dope. Until people started paying me to make cartoon and digital collages. So this is like the origin of cartoon apps. They got crazy shit now.
Yeah, this is when all the iPhone apps were starting to get super. Yeah.
So that was
cool shit with it.
My first time I guess really playing around with arts and. Yeah, I did that for a while and then kind of transitioned into doing street art because I saw this documentary on Netflix called Extra to the Gift Shop, which was about these well-known street artists. And I just thought that was so dope. I started doing my own little street art for a little bit, and I kind of just transitioned into collage art. And 5 years later with the collage, I'm still doing it and still trying to perfect my craft.
So when you say street art, define that.
So when I watched Extra to the Gift Shop, it was about a couple well-known street artists: Banksy, Shepard Fairey, Mr. Brainwash, Space Invader, and I was working at Giant Eagle warehouse at the time, not the store, but the warehouse where I kept all the goods and stuff. So I worked on the perishable side, and I used to take cardboard from the egg slots. I used to draw little characters on them, and later on I would either paint them and cut them out. And then I would go post them on light poles around Euclid and Cleveland, and probably half a year goes by. I'm just doing them on one sheet, and then over time I start combining two sheets, and at that point I'm making life size cartoon characters. So, so I used to just go out. I paint random characters, cut them out, and then I'd put them on light poles, and usually just leave. So sometimes I would stay around just to see people's reaction from afar.
Yeah, I feel like that would be so interesting.
But yeah, man. So I did that for a while. I did a couple cardboard murals, just like I said, just playing around, not really following any blueprint or anything, just doing it because it felt good.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Once I started dabbing with collage, and I kind of found success with that, and yeah, still doing it today.
Yeah, I think the street art is really interesting because it's you were starting out just to I feel like just to mess around. You know, you're just putting your stuff out there.
Yeah, man.
But you never know. You know what I think is really great about it? I think you never know how many people's day you made.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, like there's... Yeah, people might see it as like, oh, you're just throwing shit up and, you know, and like...
So the intangible rewards, man. That's all I was saying. Like,
yeah.
Like, they didn't give me anything that I can't necessarily put in my pocket, but just the fact that, you know, somebody's day was sweeter just because they saw that.
Someone saw they're driving, they're having a shitty day, you know, they spill coffee out themselves in the morning routine, and they're like, oh shit. There's like gumball, right? You know, it's like...
Yeah, I always thrive for that. Just like, yes. I mean, of course, like, you wouldn't get positive reactions all the time, but usually the positive reaction would outweigh, you know, some of the negative reactions that you would get. But like I said,
I mean...
Everyone's gonna hate something somewhere.
Yeah, but I like it because your whole goal was like a wholesome goal. Like you watched this documentary, you started sketching shit like with the resources you had at work, just messing around, and then you take it. And you're like, if everyone else is doing it, why can't I just put my artwork around town?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you just did it for fun, you know, and like you probably never thought that it would amount to where you're at now. But without that step, you probably wouldn't be where you're at.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because. You know, everyone has a perception of art that you can't like make a full-time like job out of it, and you know the people that I watched in this documentary, you know, some of them were still like that street artist that, you know, they know their work but they don't know him, because there was even a couple of like Space Invader. He was in this documentary, but his face was blurred because he's still out here doing street art, you know. But there's some street artists who went commercial where, you know, they.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
cause, like
gotten jobs from, you know, very, you know, for their work. So I'm, you know, me seeing that, I'm like, or even not even just necessarily getting jobs from bigger corporations, but just being an artist well known and people wanting to pay you to do work for them. Right. You know, it's just so infatuating to me that I'm like, okay, like, I don't necessarily have to stick to the 9-to-5 thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't. I feel like I got to a point in my life where like there was really no more room for like your family and friends to be proud of you about your shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, say, when you graduate high school, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, yeah, you know, high school, then you go to college, you know what I mean? You get your degrees, and
then you get that first job, then you're like, oh.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like from the college aspect, I mean, of course, everyone graduates college one day, but I feel like when you're going in a career that you love doing, like your main goal is to, you know, not necessarily stay in that spot, but to be, you know what I mean, higher than when you went in there. But I feel like as an artist, like, it's not really many opportunities. Well, I feel like as an artist, like, you have to like work even twice as hard just to get, you know, approval from people, because, you know, like I said, some people don't really respect like the life of an artist. Like, you know, they'll ask you, what do you do? Like, oh, do you make money? You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, I think what drives me more is just like me trying to prove everyone wrong that you can, you know what I mean? Do what you love doing without people putting limitations on you. I think. Yeah,
because I think it's, as an artist, you know, you're really up against yourself. You can't, unlike jobs where you get promotions and you get like these things, like it's hard for other people to be like, oh, congrats, you made a piece of art.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's like people are like, oh, it's cool. And then like, you know, it fades away or whatever. But then your breakthroughs are when you get those big corporate pieces and people are like, oh my God, he's really doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But until then, it's like people don't see it. They see it more as probably like a hobby.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that can get like very like
when you're passionate about it, like...
Yeah, but it can get twofold, right? It could be like, okay, I'm going to use this to be like, oh, I'm going to get that corporate piece. Like, just wait on it. I'm going to get the piece that's worth a lot of money,
right.
You know? Or some people might like, man, like no one fucks with my stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a mix of emotions.
It's funny because like, so at the same time while I'm like, you know, 24, still like, I guess not really seeking approval, but like, I guess when you're like in a group of other people who are like excelling in their careers and you're just like, you know, I graduated high school, I'm a full-time artist. Like, you know, I'm not in any well-known gallery or, you know, I don't have thousands of followers. And I feel like when you're like 34 now, still trying to prove to people that like, you know, some people like, you know, look down on that. Not that I'm old, you know. I've read like a lot of like success stories where people have found success like late in life. I think the one, I can't even think of this one vodka company, but he founded it when he was like 70. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's a great point though. Like you really transformed your career.
Yeah.
Like you really just.
I don't even think like I was. So like in the beginning, like what I'm trying to say is like. I knew at some point, like, I wanted to be, like, well-known for my art. And, like, I don't think it was really for me, like, I wanted to be, like, super famous. Like, I think I just wanted to get, and want still today, because, like I said, I'm still in pursuit. I just wanted to get to a point where I could financially help me and my family and still be able to work on my craft at the same time. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people work jobs and, you know, they don't necessarily have time to work on the shit that they really are passionate about. You know what I mean? And you may, I guess sometimes, like, when you're working at 9 to 5, there may be days where you get discouraged from working on your own shit. So, you know what I mean? Your dream kind of just gets, like, put off. But I've always had the mindset where, like, yo, man, like, if I put in as much effort for my own shit as I do for my 9 to 5, like, I should be able to make it work out. You know what I mean? Especially, like, technology now, like, you know, maybe trying to be an artist 20 years ago is super tough, but, like, now, you know, social media now has changed, like, the game. Like, social media's not going anywhere. Like,
social media.
People are getting famous in, like, 3 days. Like, just by putting, you know, shit that people think is funny or, you know, is engaging. And that's what fuels me, too. You know, I feel like I'll get there at some point, but, you know, if I just keep being authentic and just keep being myself, I kind of feel like those opportunities will gravitate toward,
and they manifest themselves. So what do you think, you know, kind of getting into like the art field, like later than some people, you know, people went to fucking art school and they're 16, graphic design major in college. What do you have to say to people that feel like they're older, but they feel like they have something there, you know, but they feel discouraged because they're older?
Yeah, I say never get discouraged. My mom found success. I say my mom's my mom. What's my mom? I'm 34. My mom is 20 years older than me, so mom's 53 now. She's about to be 54. But you know, she's always worked in healthcare, but you know, her passion was radio. So she went to school for radio a couple years ago, graduated, and you know, she's got groups on Facebook, and you know, she's always tried to, you know, stay relevant in the social media world, but she was just featured on the news and actually the Kelly Clarkson show. So my mom works for a Seaman Cancer Center at University Hospital, and my mom made like these blinged out masks for herself.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah, that's my mom, and she made these blinged out masks for herself, and then like she started making them for the cancer patients at the hospital. Oh, and super dope. Yeah, so she was on the news about 2 months ago for that, and then you know, kind of found her own craft. You know, it's so funny because me and my mom like kind of have this brother-sister relationship sometimes. So I'm like, yo, how you just hop in the art game for 2 months, get on the
Kelly Clarkson
I was like, man, I gotta start from scratch. I gotta rethink my whole art game. But yeah, so like after the story on the news, someone from the Kelly Clarkson show saw it, reached out to her, wanted my mom to make a show for Kelly Clarkson, so she made it. Sent it out to her like a week before. So awesome. Then they did a virtual meeting. Crazy. Yeah, they did a virtual like meeting that was, you know, aired on her show, and like I said, my mom's not old or anything, but I'm saying like she got crafty a little late in the game and found success. Like, you know, I don't even think, I feel like if you love what you just do it, man. Like, you know what I mean? I guess.
Yeah.
Like I had this conversation like on Clubhouse the other day. We were talking about like, I feel like there's two variations of artists. Like you've got the artists who are in it for financially, just to, you know, turn a buck over. Like that's cool if that's your thing. But then you got the artists in the game who are just doing it because they love doing it. You know what I mean? And just happen to be, you know, or getting paid at the same time. So like, I don't know, man. Just kind of. I guess for say like it's not gonna work for everybody, but I guess if you stay authentic to yourself, then you know, and stay committed and consistent, then you know the rewards start to show up.
Yeah, no,
if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I think you have to, you know, if you're like a 50-year-old or a 40-year-old and you have this passion, I mean, go for it.
Yeah.
And then, but like, make sure you're yourself. And you're not doing it for a wrong reason. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna make $1 million. I want to be a millionaire. I'm gonna hop in this. You know, I see people making money on this art state. I'm gonna quit my job, like to jump in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it for the wrong reasons. Like, you know,
yeah,
like,
I've quit 2 jobs.
Once you're passionate about it, though, you just gotta like, you know, keep up with it, and it is never too late. Like you never know. You
gotta have some sort of a game plan, man. Like I said, I'll definitely give shout out to my wife too, man, because you know I feel like
shout out
to my wife, Danielle Mackey. Definitely for the support of just being supportive and just like. And let me just say my family too, man, because I know how my family is, man. Oh, what about us? Like, okay, I'm calling y'all out too. I love everyone, but y'all know what I mean, okay? Just keeping it real. But yeah, definitely my wife is just being supportive because, you know, there's sometimes where, you know, I don't necessarily, like my checks aren't guaranteed, like, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying like I rely on my wife, like at all. Like I work hard and I grind for like, you know, everything that comes to me, but like I said, there's definitely ups and downs, and you know, from social media, you know, things may seem like I'm just, you know, super positive all the time, which I am, but you know, at the same time, like it's a lot of downs, like you know, definitely a lot of downs, but the ups kind of outweigh everything. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think no, because that's a good point though. On it, like on social media, and
it's
stuff.
not for the faint of heart. That's what I'm pretty saying. Like the artist road is not for the faint of heart. Any artist, whether you're a rapper, singer, musician, like you're not about to just go out there in the world, say I'm a singer, and then just expect to just be rich and famous. Like doesn't work.
It's a process.
Unless you're super, super talented, like you know,
or you get lucky.
for sure.
Yeah.
But you gotta grind, man. Like. It's not gonna fall out of the air. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. The lows are. That's what's crazy. Is like, you know, people don't talk about the lows as much. You know, everyone wants to talk about the highs, especially with social media. You don't see that anywhere, right? You just see all the happy times, all the good times.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it real all the time. Like I'm not gonna say like, yeah, man, the artist life, go out do it. You know, every day will be great. Like no, it's not.
But that's how people like perceive. Like, oh man, I want to do that. Like, I wish I could be like that. But it's like, the truth is everybody has, like, the downs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, facts.
And the ups. I mean, you know, there's always going to be a bright moment on the path.
Oh, yeah, for
somewhere.
sure. Not everyone's life is perfect. Like I said, you got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you learn more during the downs that prepare you to not have them downs. So I don't even saying downs is a bad thing, man. Sometimes you learn a lot of shit during the downs. I've had a couple downs recently where I've learned a lot. You know, just may have been.
You may not learn it right away.
Yeah, for sure.
But you may learn like
you gonna learn.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, you gonna learn today.
You gonna learn today. Yeah. So let's get back kind of into your art. What's your favorite thing to collage or paper mache?
So like I've worked on wood, paper, canvas, dry wood. Well, not dry wood. I'm sorry, plywood.
Oh, okay.
No wait. Oh my God, drywall.
Okay.
But I've worked on those too. Just
Drywood.
Yeah, man, drywall, man. During like the start of my career, when you go to Home Depot, you see a big wall of drywall for like $20. You're like, oh man, that's a steal. You know what I mean? Like, like I know what drywall is, but like I don't think I really thought too deep onto doing a collage piece on drywall. It's probably like 5 feet by probably like 6 feet by 5 feet. Cause drywall,
pretty big size.
Yeah, got it for like $20. Like I literally took the orange cart from Home Depot and rode it to my house because there's a Home Depot on 200th Street, and I used to stay on 185th at the time.
Oh yeah, okay. My barber lives over there.
I don't own a truck, nor do I have money to rent a U-Haul, and I literally lived like 6 blocks down the street from Home Depot. So I literally took the orange cart there. Took it to my house and literally brought it back though. And so I did this Ninja Turtle piece. It was 4-tier. Is this me? Got the nerdiest ringtone. I'm glad that's on camera too. It's real. Sorry, put that on vibrate.
Yeah, good.
Go cool, man.
Oh, good.
Sorry guys. Yeah, so I brought the orange card back. I did this 4-tier Ninja Turtle piece. It's the first time me incorporating paint and collage. Like, I took it to Cleveland Comic Con in 2016. It's funny getting people's reaction to it. They're like, "Oh man, it reminds me of like New York graffiti." Like, it was one of my coolest pieces, but it was on a piece of drywall. And, I tried to take it to this like to Geneva on the lake to this show. So I like. So I got I bungeed it to my roof of my car.
Oh no!
Literally, and I don't suggest this to anyone. Okay, okay.
No.
So I get on the freeway thinking like it is good, right? But reverting back, it's a piece of plywood. So like, it's
wait, is it drywall?
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry, I keep saying plywood. Okay. It's a piece of drywall. Okay. So I probably get like one exit. I get on the freeway, get one exit, snaps, flies off my roof on the freeway, and this is probably like it's probably like 3 p.m. So it's not like nighttime, you know. Traffic wasn't super heavy, but thank God, like I didn't kill anyone because like the situation's not even that funny. Like, it's funny, but the same it's not funny. Like I did not think this through. Like I'm just thinking since I got a bungee jump, like it's good. Like snapped in half. I literally pulled over to the side, and like I said, it wasn't many cars, and I literally grabbed it off the freeway, pulled it off to the side of the road. I put it in my car, took it home. And it was sweet though because it was collage, so I got to peel majority of it off the off the drywall, and I attached it to a piece of plywood, and it's currently at my house right now.
Oh man, most people I think would just like leave it. I don't know. I would just
dude, it was crazy. I could, man.
You got lucky it wasn't like windy because like
that's what I was
like
thinking,
something that's 5 feet. I'm thinking just landing directly on somebody's car.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I might panic. Like,
so I'm saying
it's 5 feet. Like that's low key, like
ago, man.
your whole car basically.
Literally, like it's like this. It's probably like this. So about this tall, and probably it cuts off like right
from the
here.
wall.
But I'm just thinking,
like,
you're driving and it just slaps like the front.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah. That was.
So yeah, the wind hit the front. It just automatically snapped. So it
because it's like like you could easily like.
So like it snapped in half, but it was still like hanging on by a thread.
It was all together.
So I was able to, like I said, it snapped, but it was still hanging on by a thread. So I pulled it to the side of the road.
Oh wait, so it didn't even fall off. Nothing fell off.
It broke off, but it didn't fully broke off. Like it was still like attached a little bit, but like.
Oh, that's even more lucky, dude. I was imagining it flew off into the side.
I think the collage literally saved it from like literally shattering into pieces. Like,
wow, that's lucky, dude.
Joke. I know, dude.
That's crazy.
So I'm saying like.
Learned your lesson there.
I'll never do it. Like, ever. Like, so I'm saying, man, I did not think that one through. I am pretty smart, but I don't know why I did not.
That's just like...
Okay, don't think I'm, like, super stupid. Like, yo, very, very smart. There was not smart on that one. Like, oh, my gosh. But yeah, man, now I just carry pieces in my trunk now. In the trunk now.
Yeah, maybe time to get a trunk or something.
Yeah, dude. That's why I specifically do my life size pieces at this certain size. It's like 32 by 80 because it's like as wide as my trunk. And that's how I can transport the bigger pieces. Like
you're gonna soon need a van.
I know,
big van.
Yeah, one day. It's funny, man. Like
commissions come in more.
I always have them out the trunk, so sometimes I'll be on the freeway and people trucks are just looking down like it's just like Goku hanging out the trunk. What the fuck is that? Excuse me. It's like, oh my god, man, it's funny, man. But yeah, definitely got to invest in a U-Haul or some type of van. I was trying to get one a while ago, but yeah.
One day. All right, so I kind of want to hear about the process of making one of these. You know, so let's say either a commission comes into you, or you have your own idea. What's like the first step?
So I do everything by grid. I feel like people feel so like different about grids, but there are people who use projectors, and I could use a projector, but I don't know, man. I like the long way, but if people send me photos, I'll have a grid mocked up. I'll have a digital grid mocked up on my phone. And I'll just take a photo and, change like the transparency of it and put it on that same grid. Change the transparency of it. And then I'll just have that same grid, in real life. And I'll kind of just like hand-eye coordination. Kind of know like those drawing books from back in the day where they'd have like a superhero on a grid, and then on the next page would be like the grid, and like, oh man, if you can copy this, you're an artist. So it's kind of like that same.
Oh, okay.
thing.
So like So theoretically, you have like just little boxes, right?
Yeah.
And you're able to like see at what point it meets the other boxes from the phone, right? Because your phone has the same grid.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, okay, it makes sense.
So like,
I was wondering how you did that.
so I can draw without a grid, but once I got in collage and like, I did a collage piece where the dimensions were all off, and then and it was just like a basic freehand grid. Like it wasn't even. I think this piece, my squares were rectangle. Like they weren't. They weren't. When you're doing grid pieces, like your square is supposed to be the same size on all sizes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
basically.
But I think I had like 2 by 4 inch rectangles. I'm trying to grid out so you get this elongated look. So when I started doing like the actual grading, it's I kind of want to make sure like if I'm working on an area for 4 hours, like it's to where it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need proportions to be right.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you do the grade, you sketch it out. Then what happens?
So at that point, I've got like Tupperware bins at home of just intertwined magazines and comics, and I kind of just like sift through them and try to find color coordinate piece by piece. I usually put like a base. I'll collage it with the base color just so the whole piece is collage, and then usually after that I'll kind of just go in and find like letters or phrases that stick out because sometimes people think my pieces are paint from afar, so I always try to incorporate like textures and comic bubbles and things like that to make it pop more.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So your mind.
Not the professional art, like just make that shit sweet, like.
Right, no, because you can go basic with just plain colors.
Yeah.
Like you could just go through these magazines and just get a plain red color.
Yeah, for sure.
But you like to utilize like the details within the comic books or magazines.
So yeah, when I started just doing the comic books, I couldn't source all my colors from comic books. So my grandma had a bunch of old magazines. And I started using her magazines for skin tones at first, but then I started utilizing them for like other colors I couldn't source from comics. So that's kind of how they got all intertwined. But
that's cool though. It makes it more unique, because everyone's piece has everyone's piece has a piece of history on it.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. It's kind of cool though too, because when I started, I would use the comic book associated with whatever character I was collaging, but over time, like they just all become intertwined. So you may find red pieces with, superheroes from Marvel and DC universe. And there's comics that aren't even affiliated with Marvel and DC. You might find indie comics in there. Picked up a few of those over time. A lot of Archies and I'm like trying to think like Archies, and there's a lot of like the Walt Disney comics like Daffy Duck and all that from back in the day. Like
there's infinite comics.
Yeah, dude.
So do you like how do I say it? Okay, so let's say it's kind of just on you. It's not a this is something that you want to do with the paper mache. Can you like see the end product in your head, or is it kind of like we're going along with it? Like let's say you want to do what you already did Joker, right?
Yeah.
So was it kind of like, okay, I know what I'm looking for in these magazines before I even touch these magazines? Or is it like I have to open the magazines and then I'm picking out pieces?
So kind of like the process is like, so once I got the basic sketch down, like I got, my starting point, my head is like, I just need this color variation in however unique way I can get it. You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, if it's Cyclops, right? So you guys can envision Cyclops like his yellow, his visor, it's got red in the middle, then it's yellow, and then, blue, and then it's got skin tone. Okay. So I can just go find just those colors and, glue them piece by piece. Right. But what I do is I try to find already that combination of color, you know what I mean? So it kind of just try to make it more trippier, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even explain it, like, I'm trying to think, like, so just for instance, like the Thing, like we were talking about earlier, like, or later, however this chapter. He's orange, so, I'd fill in, how am I trying to, damn it, it's so hard trying to explain.
No,
So like, okay. So think of the Thing, right? So the Thing is orange, and then like his pants, depending on which comic we're looking at, are blue. So like if I have something an image that has this combination of orange and blue, I'll chop thing off, right where the pants are, and I'll just, kind of fill that in where the orange or blue are. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I kind of, like I said, I just find it more cooler that way, because it's like, wait, what the? Like, from afar, like, oh man, that's like Cyclops. But as I get closer, like, oh my god, like that's Wolverine punching. You know what I mean? Like, try to make it more comic-y than it is.
Yeah, but then you use like it as like a shading tool too.
So like shading is new, man. Like if you see it on my earlier pieces, like like the concept of shading eluded me. So like I would do pieces, and you'll see some pieces where the lighting is supposed to be more lighter on this side, more darker on this side. But at this point in time, I'm putting darks where the lights are supposed to be. Still, it's cool because it's a collage, but there are certain parts where I didn't really articulate on the shading part.
Yeah.
But like I said, once you get further in your career, and you're like, oh man, like trying to get more detail with your pieces, like shading definitely plays a more fact. It plays a significant role as far as giving depth to your pieces or any type of realism. You know what I mean? So once I started doing the shading, just trying to practice more of shading, I can't not shade stuff now. You know what I mean? Like
well, that's gonna take you the next step.
Trying to. I don't know if I'm just like chasing this hyper realism look that I'll probably never achieve, but that's another flaw of mine, because sometimes there may be something that looks perfect, and everyone around me is like telling me, not just being biased, but you're like, no, it really looks like them. But at times, like, I can't accept my work sometimes. Like, I
feel like that's the life of an artist.
Just keep working on it.
If you're not like that, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, man, that's I feel like it's a huge flaw of mine. Like sometimes I'll maybe overwork something just because I'm thinking it's not where it needs to be, but it's just me just trying to achieve this perfection that I know that I'll maybe never achieve, You
got like any hidden pieces like you just don't show any people? Like you just think it's bad?
Yeah, I do actually.
It's you ripped, huh? It's like it's this cause you fighting like maybe a lion or something.
I've got a bunch of pieces that you've probably seen a smaller thumbnail of it. I did this Freddie Mercury piece for a client. So a client of mine was giving it to her friend for a birthday present, and scanned it in and everything. I just didn't like Freddie Mercury's face. And usually when I do an 8x10, I'll scan it in, turn it to a digital file for print. I usually throw it on my Facebook, just showing people, like, you know what I mean. But like I never like put this one as a print or anything. Like I just hated his face. Like
the Freddie Mercury shit.
The Freddie Mercury, man, it's dope, man. Like he got the mic, everything's got a pink background, it's got sweet pink comic book letters like popping out, and it's dope. Like his teeth are on point, but it's just like, I don't know, man. His face just looked terrible to me, and I could upload a shirt one, but
so I just know that's how like sometimes like that'll be your most popular art. Whatever, like it happens to artists so many times. Like,
dude, that's how I even got into collaging. Because like I said, I was doing the digital art and the street art for a while, but when I did my first collage piece, I had more likes and comments on that than anything I've done prior to that. So I was like, oh man, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is what y'all like, you know what I mean? So that kind of is like why I stick to doing collaging, because I'm like, man, I just did this, 8-foot Super Mario mural. You know what I mean? If I just random Batman collage I just did for the first time, it's got like 1,000. So I'm like, okay, sweet. Like, pivot foot, like, I don't know if the universe telling me I need to be collaging now, but I kind of just ran with that.
Yeah. Not a bad thing. So what's your favorite piece that you have?
Man.
We got some pieces, I tell you.
Man, collage piece?
Yeah.
Man,
and then you got that one piece.
You gotta get rid of all the other ones. You gotta delete all the other pictures.
Damn, man.
Set them on fire. You only keep one.
I love the Nipsey joint, man, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's my favorite one. Big ups Nipsey. I fucking love Nipsey. Excuse my language again, but
no, you can cuss on
it. All right, sweet. Well, I fucking love Nipsey.
Yeah.
I met Nipsey one time, a long time ago in Santa Monica before he blew up, but that's another story though.
Oh shit.
Didn't pay attention at the time. I wish I would have, but yeah, man. I don't even know, man. I did this Goku versus Superman piece. It was my first giant collage. It's on my wall right now, and
I've heard that argument before.
Yeah, man, it's the same dude, man. I mean, I'm always gonna pick Goku over Superman because I feel like I'm more attached to Goku because I've been watching.
I could definitely
since Dragon Ball.
Agree with that.
Goku is way cooler. Superman's kind of like boring. I don't know. He's kind
I know,
of
man.
boring.
But I was like, man, it's so funny, man, because oh man, like they're like literally the same dude, man. They're aliens who came to Earth, and they're doing the good world, like they're playing their part, like. But I don't know, man. I'm a Dragon Ball Z head. Like I don't feel like. I don't know, man. I mean, like we know Superman's story, like, but I don't think we weren't there when Superman was young throughout the years. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel more connected to Goku because I watched that whole man's storyline. Like,
Superman's just he's just like a cheesy guy to me.
And Goku, man, like, he just keeps getting more powerful. Like, I feel like Superman's always had those powers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like I said, this is DC. I'm Marvel head. It's like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like Superman, like, where's the growth? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Superman had all those powers when he was a kid, but like they never got any cooler. It wasn't an advance. You know what I mean? Am I wrong? Like he's always been able to run fast, fly. You know what I mean? Bulletproof. But that's the peak for Superman. Okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're watching Goku's currently still since we were 16. I'm 34 now, but literally been watching this dude since
forever.
16.
Yeah.
The creator's still working on it. Goku's still getting stronger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Super Saiyan Blue is new. Like, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. Dragon Ball Z got like story and trial. Even if you try to compare it to like the Justice League cartoon series, is kind of like they're all just forced together.
Yeah.
Where like I feel like Dragon Ball Z is kind of like this family, even if they're not direct family. Kind of like just morphing, like you see new characters appear way different.
It's true. Also, maybe because like Dragon Ball Z was okay. So like Justice League, okay, the cartoon, they kind of followed like maybe they followed up. Maybe sometimes they would follow up from the previous episode, but I feel like the whole Dragon Ball Z series were just like here's a story, and it's like every day for the next, every day of this person's story, like. Yeah, taking off, one period of the saga is like a month long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I don't feel like Justice League really had they're continuing. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah,
Dragon Ball Z, that's it. Like,
yeah, we're talking story, boom, that wins.
No. But seriously though, man, I don't know, man.
So I want to say what you like so much about that piece, the Goku versus Superman piece. What do you like about it so much?
So it was like my first huge collage piece, and I think so. I think in my head, like I saw myself making it, but I don't know if I was getting discouraged because I'm like, oh man, that's a big piece, like doubting that I could create a piece of that size. And because I think prior to I don't know which one came first. 'Cause I did a life-size Deadpool. Because like I said, when I was doing the street art, I was already prone to doing life-size pieces. Yeah. So when I tapped into the collage world, like I kind of felt like it was natural for me to start making them, more life-size like. So I made a Deadpool. I don't know which one came first, but the Deadpool is like a fraction of the Goku Superman piece.
It's like a new milestone, pretty much. Like
for sure.
Like a big battle.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because like I said, I'm always the most confident person in the world. Like me. I digitally created the mock-up on my phone. I'm like, damn, man, this would be sweet. I found this picture of Superman. If I was, one of Goku, kind of just like digitally combine it.
Yeah.
I usually make photos on my phone first, and I'm like, man, this is sweet. Like, boy, like I said, like I did it, man. It came out super sweet, and it's my first like giant collage, whatever you want to call it, that got featured in a gallery. I did this show in Sandusky a couple years ago, and I was able to take it down there and showcase it at this gallery. So it was my first time like having like a piece like that out in the world. And it was kind of like I'm just validating myself. No, I'm still a rookie in the game, but I was just like, man,
you achieved a goal.
Yeah, for sure. And I was like, damn, it's dope. Like, no, I need to just start searching for more opportunities like this. Like, just get my art. Still on the same mission of getting my art out there and just, just trying to gain that notoriety, so to speak.
Do you think that like working with like bigger life-size pieces, I mean, it gives you opportunity to like kind of do detail a little more? Other than these small pieces, it might be hard to like get little specific details or.
Yeah, I feel like I can add more detail in the smaller pieces just because they're comic book size. Like there are a lot of scenes and characters that are, you could fit like 4 or 5 of them within this 8x10 space. You know what I mean? And end up completing the picture in half the time. Where I feel like I love doing the larger size pieces, but I'm never trying to manipulate a comic image. You know what I mean? Take a comic image, scan it and blow it up, and print it out, and then, glue it onto my piece. Like, I don't like doing it like that. But I feel like with the bigger pieces, I have to have more of amount of these small pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot longer, but yeah, I guess I was just thinking like, okay, I feel like it's harder to work with little things, but if you already have your flow, then it doesn't make sense because every comic book character is that size. So it's easy to get like the little details from that to add to your thing.
Yeah, so like if I had, if I'm working on Beast, if I'm making Beast, right, from X-Men, he's all blue. His arm that I'm trying to create, on this 8x10 piece of paper is probably like this much, you know what I mean? I feel like I can take one comic bubble, that says boom or whatever, and kind of just glue that in where Beast's arm is and kind of just like do the outline afterwards. And I'm done with Beast's arm. You know what I mean? Like, I could do that. Sometimes I do that and then I just add a little more. Like if I can find like a miniature picture of Cyclops like that I can fit in right here. Like I try to fit in as much as I can, and I feel like I don't know, man, like I have more fun with 8x10 because I'm like, oh man, like I can cut out 12 or 15 different variations of these colors, and I kind of sift through them and kind of see like what works best, Cause sometimes I'll cut something out and I'll just play around with the image, like it looks cooler here, you know what I mean? But
so limiting it to a smaller size then creates more creative freedom, right? Because you already limit to your size, now you can be more creative within that.
Yeah, for sure.
Limited space.
For sure.
Okay.
Not saying that you're limited on a bigger scale.
Makes sense.
It's but I never like to just even when I'm creating at a bigger scale, I'm never just like hurrying up trying to cut out a piece of gray and throw it in there. Like I feel like I need to like really think it out more as far as how strategic I am with my pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like instead of just like throwing colors in there just to fill up the space, like
Yeah.
Like,
so are the pieces like real comic books?
What do you mean?
Like you're cutting them out of the comic books?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm never like. That's what I say. I don't like. I don't like scanning stuff in and getting them printed out at a bigger size just to fill out. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of like cheating, authentically, if I find.
That's what I think makes it better though. Is like you're like when people get it, they are getting like just. They're getting an extra piece on top of the artwork.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
So like adds to it.
Yeah, man. Because I had this. Spider-Man piece I had, but like, if you're just trying to cover a red space, like you can use so many different variations. Like you can cut up more Spider-Mans to fill up that red space, like Red Hulk, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Pieces
of Spider-Woman's hair, and like a piece of Mary Jane's hair, like just so many different variations. Like I just try to like have fun with it, you know what I mean? Just.
Yeah.
What's the most like surprising piece that somebody asked you to do? Like just the concept was surprising when they asked you.
So so usually when people ask me to do a piece for them, like either it's a photo that they provide for me, or it's like can you do this character? Like I'll leave it up to you to have a variation. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah.
So sometimes, well, not actually a lot. I always encourage people like, like be as imaginative as you want. Like I'm still new in my collaging career. You know what I mean? So I like to be challenged. You know what I mean? But I've only been really challenged like probably like 3 times in like 5 years. First time, this guy was my first time getting like. Weird, like it wasn't weird. So this guy wanted me to do a picture of Wolverine and Deadpool sitting on a picnic bench. No, Wolverine and Deadpool, like Wolverine holding a picture of Deadpool. I wanted a picture of Deadpool, and then like Deadpool, holding opposite. He didn't care how it was done.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he didn't care how it was done, but he wanted them sitting. He wanted them sitting back to back. So when I this is my first time. So I had already been collaging probably about 3 years now, and this is my first time like getting a request like that. And I want to admit, like I was kind of like, I wasn't salty at first, but it was my first time. Like, I felt like, I was like, man, it's just doing more than I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's crazy. Like, to even...
Yeah, and it was crazy because I'm like, I got mad at first internally. Not mad, but I was like, oh, man, this is weak. Like, but at the same time, I was like, yo, if I'm an artist, like, I should be able to do it. You know what I mean?
Anything,
like,
yeah.
This shouldn't be a setback. So I'm like, all right, sweet. So I'm just like looking for reference photos just of Deadpool and Wolverine, and to a point where like I took pictures of myself sitting like literally I got on my phone like sitting in a specific way. Because I even used to do a lot of digital art back in the day where I'd take pictures of myself, cartoon them, and then like superimpose them into like cartoon photos of toys that I had. So I was already used to like digital cartooning pictures of myself, superimposing stuff. So like I took pictures of myself turned specific ways and Wolverine, and then kind of like, okay, so I have the motion, you know what I mean? So I kind of just need to fill in. I know it's red, you know what I mean? And just try to make it as authentic as possible. And it came out sweet. I put Edgewater in the background, and they were sitting on the picnic table. Had the wanted posters weren't as super as detailed as I wanted to be because I'm trying to make wanted posters at 8x10. So it's like, you know what I mean? They still looked cool though, but yeah, he loved it, man. And I just I'm always encouraging people to shoot stuff at me, but sometimes people.
Was that the original size 8x10?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of detail and very small, like the one. Yeah,
for sure,
small.
Man.
Damn, that's
dope.
Like a couple centimeters. In the one it has to be. Like
It's crazy, though, man. Because like I said, the comics are sweet. Because sometimes in those comic panels, like you'll have the superhero at a smaller size. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So sometimes like I'm pretty precise with the scissors. Like I'm like, oh man, Wolverine's face. Like you know what I mean? I'll cut that out. Trying to incorporate it in there just to. Make it way cooler than
I was hoping that you said that you bought like a Wolverine costume and we were like,
I wish I had a Wolverine costume.
You're like taking a photo shoot, like.
Oh man, dude, I'm all about cosplay, man. I never wearing like the party center costumes. I feel like those are weak, man. Like the real people who making the dope cosplay, like on Instagram and like that I know of, making just parts for people and whatnot. Like my wife bought me the Black Panther helmet from GameStop. It's dope. It's like the most authentic Black Panther mask I've ever seen. Like, sometimes you'll see Black Panther mask, it'll have the hook at the top, or it'll be halfway cut off. Yeah. But yeah, this one covers your whole head. It's got the visor for the eyes, comes up and down.
Oh, really?
Lights up. It's got blue lights that go through it. It's pretty dope. But
that is dope.
I always figure like I can't wear this helmet and a onesie, a onesie Black Panther shirt. Like I feel like I gotta have the actual movie quality. Like just I'm not that rich enough for it yet. But when I do get rich, I promise you, like I better
next time you're gonna wear it. You're gonna wear the whole outfit when
my god, dude!
You're gonna come back on the show.
Cosplay, man. I buy a lot of costumes for my son though. He'll be 4 at the end of this month.
So what does he think about your art?
Oh, he loves it, man.
That's so awesome.
I think, unless he's lying.
He's like, he goes on. It's so trash.
Oh my god, dude! The best is like when he's at daycare, man, and they're doing like collage projects. So like you'll get pictures of him like working on stuff with other kids and stuff, and like I'm always like, yeah, those kids don't know. Like I used to end this, those kids think like he's just, fun. He's like, yo, my dad does this. Like, I know what's going on.
You don't know who my dad is.
I help him out all the time. Trust me.
Does he ever help you out with stuff?
Yeah, I do actually. I've had a piece of my son has helped me out with, but sometimes my son's too crazy. Like he has to take a side back sometimes.
That's cool though, because like I mean, like your own personal stuff, you guys doing it together that's like a bonding experience, but it's also like. Fun for him because that's what kids do.
Yeah, man. My son definitely made his mark on a few of my pieces where he's like, to me, he messed them up, but I still rode with it anyway. Like, it's just like a piece I did for a friend of mine for 3 dogs. So it's in like a probably 3 by 4 foot canvas, something like that.
Who's his favorite superhero?
Man, whoever he's watching that day, I swear it changes up all the time, man. Dude, my son loves Wolverine. He loved Dr. Doom for a long time because we were playing Fortnite for a minute, and it was the first time like even knowing who Dr. Doom was. But Black Panther, he's got a bunch of costumes. We got him hooked up with a little costume area. He can kind of just feel free. He's usually Batman more than anyone though. Like he stayed true to being Batman. But
interesting. I just feel like I noticed like how they just converted like Spider-Man into like being big dog for like all these younger kids. And I feel like that's all I hear from like younger kids. Like, dude, it's obviously Spider-Man.
Dude, my wife is a huge Batman fan. I'm personally like Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Like always been that way. I'm a huge Batman fan. But there have been periods of time where my son has liked Spider-Man and then like not like Spider-Man. So we just like go back and forth like, damn it, like.
I mean, it has been. I mean, well,
Spider-Man, son. Okay.
Yeah. You're wearing that today.
I mean, there's so many Spider-Mans, so I can see where the mood swings come in, depending on which one's on the screen.
Yeah, man. My son's biracial, man, so he definitely identifies with Miles, man. It's so funny because my mom bought him some butters, some Timberlands.
Yeah.
I was like, buying butter? No,
my mom bought him some butters, but he was so used to wearing his Paw Patrol boots, so he wouldn't wear them, though. So we were playing the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, and at one point in the game, like, Miles had some butters on, staying true to the New York culture, which is super dope. I love the game.
Super dope.
But yeah, we were showing, like, look, Miles has some butters. So then he was like, oh man, like Miles has some butters. So then he started wearing them. I was like, oh man.
I mean, sometimes you need an influencer.
That is crazy, yeah.
I know, man. It was so dope.
Wonder how much money that made Tim's.
No,
Think about it.
They didn't make money for years, man.
Yeah. But like now little kids are like, oh, he's wearing that.
I was like, oh man, you're so funny, man. You're a Paw Patrol till you die, but see Miles and some Tim's. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. What was your favorite superhero growing up?
Definitely Batman. Like, it's kind of everything about Batman. Storyline.
Yeah.
Even like, I don't know, Batman just never was corny. Like a lot of the superheroes, I don't know, they got this thing where it's like they corny, then they cool. It's like, no, Batman is rich and having a ball, and then he's just like saving the day.
Dude, I love Batman, man, but I think I just identified more with Peter because he was just like someone that I could relate to. Like, he was a nerd and he was just like from the hood, like, just like.
Yeah.
And not that I couldn't relate to Batman. I think my aspiration to be Batman exceeded trying to be Peter Parker. You know what I mean? I felt like it was easier to become Spider-Man than Batman at my age at the time. I don't know.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
But I think I love Batman more because, like, I was exposed more to Batman. Like, Spider-Man wasn't as hip, like, when I was a kid. Like, Spider-Man was hip, though, but, like, there was more Batman movies when I was a kid. Like I said, I'm 34, so, me coming up 8, 9, like, there were, Spider-Man wasn't.
I mean, see, all of our childhoods, Batman definitely had way more. But we also can't pretend like this 10-year run of Spider-Man every year didn't happen. Now, what we had to do in our lives and whether we could see it on the actual day, I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, Batman definitely our childhood. We had no choice.
Batman dominated my childhood for sure. Like,
way more Batman.
I think it was just Spider-Man and Friends that were already repeats at the time when I was a kid. But Spider-Man and Friends, and then like the Amazing Spider-Man came in. But that's just like Spider-Man wasn't on the big screen yet. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see that cartoon when it came on, but it wasn't like, DirecTV was hot, or you can just watch Spider-Man all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Batman, there was more Batman shows, there was more movies. They made so many Batman movies. All the classic Batman. But they didn't make Spider-Man movies till like the early 2000s.
Man. Yeah, like 2001.
Yeah.
Kind of just started.
So that's
I
when
personally
it was
think those are like the top Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Those are good. I don't know, they were good.
No, I think those were like top. I really did like Homecoming. Homecoming was incredible. Like later, we're talking about like later on, but
the new one's alright.
I like the second one was way better than Homecoming, man. Like,
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah.
Like, Dude, I like Garfield too, man. Like Spider-Man 2 was dope, man. Like I can't even like. I feel like everyone just like keeps skipping over Garfield, but I was like, bro, like I watched that a couple times, but I'm like, dude, the Garfield one with Jamie Foxx is dope, man. Like Gwen Stacy died, like it was a lot of character development in there, man. Like that, people sleeping on. Amazing Spider-Man 1 was okay, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Electro was super dope. One of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I mean, Tobey Maguire, those movies always be dope to me because it was like Spider-Man on the big screen, like finally, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like dominate, Batman's been dominating the movie, superhero movie universe this whole time. But I thoroughly enjoyed Far From Home, man. It was dope. Like I feel like Spider-Man went up, had a lot of challenges in that movie.
Do like the movie premieres kind of add to your I don't know, kind of like competing with yourself? Like I feel like if I was to do this and then I don't know, like the new Batman, new Joker, whatever is coming out, like I feel like, oh, this is a challenge. Like I'm about to make Joker thing because like the movie's coming out, or is it kind of like it might trigger you or it might not?
Sometimes, not all the time. Because if you try to keep up with trends, like you'll just burn yourself out. Like it's, a movie drops like every couple months.
It's supposed to be fun,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I did the Joker piece a year before the movie even came out. To be honest, they released the photos for the first time, and I caught the one where he had the mask off. And I was like, "Damn, man, that's sweet." And I happened to be doing Ingenuity Fest at the time, and I thought it'd be dope to have that there.
Hopped above the trend.
Yeah, so having the release photo and then knowing that I got Ingenuity like coming up like that, I think it was that weekend. I was kind of like, "Oh man, sweet! Like this will be dope." Like at the time when I'm making them, I'm never like, "Oh man, someone will buy this." My first mindset is like, people are gonna think this is dope. Like,
right? Yeah,
you know what I
mean.
Sometimes like I think when Baby Yoda came out too, I had a Grogu, if you want to be technical, and I had a Christmas show coming up that week, so I was just like kind of like. Sometimes I'll try to challenge myself. Like I don't know if it'll take me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, depending on how detailed I want to be, but I ended up getting it done for the show, and it was dope though too because when you put it on your craft table and people are walking around, like they're like, even from like down the hall, like, "Oh man, Baby Yoda," kind of just like people kind of gravitated over to it, just from a marketing standpoint. I'm not a marketing expert, but I just figured like. This 3-floor craft show building, like people, Yoda's still fresh, like Mandalorian's still new, at the time, and I figured it was just bait, pretty much, like.
Yeah, it's dope.
Let me catch you with baby Grogu, or and let you see all the other dope art I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you're at like craft shows, do you usually like? I know you go to display them, but. How do you usually have a price in mind already when you're if someone, because like that is the goal to like sell a product there or just to show, or is it both?
Kind of both, man. Like,
okay.
I mean, I always hope to go to a show and financially benefit from it, but sometimes you don't necessarily financially benefit from the show. Sometimes it's like a butterfly effect thing where you may just go to that show, make nothing, hand a bunch of cards out, but then later, that person who got your card from that show will contact you like a year or 2 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I don't feel like I necessarily lose with every show. Like the whole goal was just like boost my notoriety. Like I'm never like, I'm super humble. Like I'm never like, "Oh man, I'm the best artist in the world." Like I just know I do good work. I just know the only problem is that people are not seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I just think. Yeah. If I'm out here, like, like I said, if you're out there doing the work, like, people will see you and contact you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm never, like, mad if I have had some shows where I've showcased and didn't make anything, but I had some cards out,
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, it is a win.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day. Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. It's like, people go to these shows to, like... No one really has like $500 or something or $1,000 just like in their pocket,
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's like getting that card made you out of there. Like, oh, you know what? I can get like custom piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it is a win-win, really.
Yeah. My art's not like super expensive either. I didn't have a pricing scale like in my first 2 years. I was just kind of like someone was like, "Oh man, can you do this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, $80. Does that sound good?" You know, like yeah, I didn't really know. I never was trying to like from the rip like, "Oh yeah, 8,000." You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I try to keep that same mindset as like any artist. Like, yo, you gotta like start from the bottom, work yourself up. I can't just come out the gate like 10,000. You know what I mean? So those first couple pieces I did, people came up like, you know, I do big pieces for like super low, but I never found. You know, think about it now, like I was just working it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
But when I started my company, Immortal Nerd, I didn't want to be that dude. I started Immortal Nerd to be kind of like a platform from which I sell my art. Cause I was trying to take myself more seriously as an artist, like, and I didn't want to be that dude just throwing random prices out to people. Cause I know a lot of artists who do that. Maybe because they haven't figured it out yet, or maybe I don't know, man. But I just feel like if you're trying to be in business, you don't want a person who just like throwing random numbers out, like, well, how much is this? Like, you're not confident about So that's why I said that I had to have some type of foundation. So I started charging by square inch for all my work, kind of like carpet. So like, no matter what size this person is requesting, it's always going to come out to be the same price. And I'm always thinking like long term too. And I think in the beginning of all this, I didn't want a situation. I didn't want to do the hourly either, because when I'm thinking about the hourly in my head, like I try to play it out, like how's it gonna work out, and I'm like, I don't want to be about no type of drama. Like I hate drama. Like
way better.
So
just to...
in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, so in the event that I charge, let's say $30 an hour, right? I do 4 hours into the piece. In my head, it looks like them, so I give it back to them. And I'm like, okay, well, it's this much. Say they're not satisfied with it, like, you know what I mean? Do I go back and just keep working on it as the amount just keeps getting higher and higher? It's going to get to a point where I lose the image and I'm putting all this work in and they don't want it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
like that just didn't pan out for me thinking about it. So that's why I kind of felt comfortable with so I felt comfortable with my creating skills, and I was like, okay, so what price would I be comfortable giving away this 8x10? So I'm like 100, 120, kind of went with that. I kind of just broke it down mathematically, like of what that is on the charger by square inch scale. So that's why I charged $1. So it's $1.50 for 8x10 at 120. But I did it. I set up invoices through Square, so you don't really necessarily have to pay the full up front. You can just put 50% down and then the other 50% upon completion. They don't always give people a turnaround time too, though, because it kind of gives you, the buyer, confident as far as when they'll get this piece, and instead of like, I don't know, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna, encourage someone to, unless they really want your work, then they don't care. But I kind of just try to operate it from a business standpoint.
I mean, that's smart. I mean, that's how you gotta do it. That's how you make a name for yourself. Last thing before we wrap up. What is one piece of advice you give younger P?
Start earlier.
Okay.
Probably start earlier. Stick with Musical.ly. TikTok used to be Musical.ly, and I had Musical.ly when it first came out. I didn't really mess with it a lot, to be honest, because I couldn't understand its potential at the time. But I just found out actually 2 days ago that if you had Musical.ly and you kept it while it converts to TikTok, that you were automatically verified. I was like, what? Not that that means anything. Yeah. It's just random. Like, stick with Musical.ly. Like, do more videos. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. As far as a serious answer, just like stay consistent. Man, definitely stay consistent, because there have been times where those down periods where don't create anything, and you always got to be consistent in the art world, or just just to stay relevant. Use hashtags like P, Young P.
Yeah. Young P. Yeah, great word of advice. All right, and then tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram. It's at P_THANERD. Or my company is Immortal Nerd, IMMORTALNERD. And
check out
or Stell's Art Gallery in Willoughby, downtown Willoughby. That's where I showcase my work at as well. So
dope. All right.
Sure.
And then you said you had some stuff you brought?
do. I came bearing gifts.
Oh, boy.
Got a couple prints from the Immortal Nerd collection. Check them out. Hope you guys enjoy them.
Dibs on the big one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, wait, this is the one that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, man.
This is the one where he posed.
It's the super detailed one.
This is fire. Like,
Man, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, check it out,
Cyborg, you know, he's kind of looked down upon, but Cyborg, he's still one of those dudes.
Oh yeah, for sure. With the man, I want the Snyder cut so bad, man. Need to drop that. I want to see Justice League in a new light.
I just love seeing like.
But yeah, man, if you look at Wolverine's face, he's got Jubilee. It's in his face.
Wait, is that Odin? Oh no, never mind.
It might be. Wait, I don't know. I don't know.
No,
Terrible.
That's dope.
No, this is fire though.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening and watching. It's
Oh
your
wait,
boy-
wait a second.
Oh, wait.
I brought some old technology. It's called a Polaroid camera. Just wanted to, take a picture of y'all if y'all don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Just my time here
For sure.
on the show. All right, 1, 2. Oh wait, hold on a second. It's not on. Sorry, y'all. All right, gotta warm up one time. All right, 1, 2, 3. It's a Polaroid.
Yeah. There we go.
Don't keep these no more.
All right. Well, thanks for listening and watching. It's your boy Chef T.
I'm with a Spacekid.
Peanut Nerd.
Yes, sir. Keep it real. See you next week, y'all. Thank you all for listening and joining us on another episode of the Stirfry. All the music was created by Steve Ozell. Check him out on all streaming services at Stevo Music, spelled ST3V30 Music. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. And see you next week when we talk with Rage the Poetic. He's an entertainer / recording artist from Cleveland, Ohio. His passion for entertaining is immense and explains us why it's so important for artists to create great, memorable experiences. So, see you next week, y'all. You won't want to miss it.